So today I will be ranking all the next gen versions of the WWE games just because I don't have all the old gens and the fact that I just haven't played them as much as I have played the new gens. Even though they are amazing like 2K14 and 13 and 12. I actually really like all of them. But 16 don't even have it installed. I have every other one installed on my PlayStation because I go back and forth. 16, for some reason, I could just not get into it. I was not a fan. So, didn't put that much time into it. Probably don't have that many trophies, even though I am someone that likes to collect, at least some trophies. I'm not a platinum hunter, but I like to collect trophies. And I probably don't have that many trophies on this game. Just not a fan. Now to games I actually like. Sadly, 2K15. I know a lot of people do not care for this game, but I really enjoyed it. But they removed too many features from the previous game, and it's just very limited. In the story mode, don't even get me started in the story mode. It is just not fun, and for whatever reason, they made it so your signatures and finishers go by slower. You play a basic match with your friend with CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, and, you'll get your signatures fast. But if you play in story mode, it is slow as fuck. So you could go on the way to just get yourself DQ'd in every match and get farther and farther and farther in story mode so you can at least beat it and get a few characters. You'll get people like Rusev and I think Bo Dallas you earn from story mode. I don't know. I've beat story mode a while ago. But I do not have Neville because, he's the only character I don't have because you got to get promoted to Raw and I would actually have to win matches to do that. So that's something I'm going to do really far in the future. And, yeah, story mode fucking sucks ass. It would probably take you, as long as a regular good story mode game. Like, think of The Last of Us. It's like a 9-hour game, including gameplay and shit. If you were actually to properly play story mode, I guarantee it would be like 30 hours for 2K15 if you actually played all the matches. Just because they made it slower to get your signatures. Story mode, fuck you. Showcase mode, loved it. You get to do CM Punk and John Cena and a bunch of other rivalries. And you also get another one. You get 2 showcases, which you don't get in any of the other games. You get Shawn Michaels and Triple H too. So you get newer guys and older guys. It's awesome. There's a lot of fun mechanics that wouldn't even make it into the next game. As far as I remember, like there's tag team elimination chambers, which are in the older gen versions too. You can jump off the top of the pods, so you can do like signatures and finishers off of there, which is something they removed. Now, if you want to go to the top of the pod, all you can do is dive. So you can dive at someone that's standing or laying on the ground, and it does like a basic attack. It doesn't do a frog splash or anything cool. And they removed that. You can do leg drops off the pod, 450 splashes. It's awesome. But they got rid of it. And yeah, there's just a lot of cool shit that they got rid of that this game had. And of course, it doesn't have a very big roster for women. There's only like 6 of them, I think. Maybe 8. Because the Bella Twins are 2 people I always forget about in the WWE games because I don't like them as people and as wrestlers. There's a lot of fun stuff to do in this game, though. There is one thing that pisses me off, though, is you can hit people with big-ass moves. You can hit someone with 3 finishers in a row, and they will still get up in like 5 seconds. Because, every now and then I want to go to the top of the ladder and hit a finisher. Something you can't do in the new video games anymore. So I'll hit someone with a go to sleep. I'll start climbing the ladder. I'll get to the top, and they'll already be getting up, even if they're in low health. It's stupid. You can hit them with everything, and they will get up fast. Submissions are kind of cheap in this game, where you only have to press one button by, repeatedly tapping X. So you can easily beat people in this one. 2K16 had shitty submissions that you couldn't even change, so that makes it even lower on my list, even though it is already the bottom. Next is gonna have to be, unfortunately, another one that I really enjoy, 2K17. The graphics are really improved. Like, sure, the graphics in 15 still look really good, but, like, some of them in this game are amazing. Like, for example, the Ascension, they look fucking amazing in this game. I can't even believe how good they look in this game. But then there's other characters that look fucking god-awful, like Big Cass. Oh my god, his eyes stare into your soul. It's hard to even play as him. It's not just like an entrance problem, it is a him problem. So if you want to play as Big Cass, he does not look good. And he's had some recent controversies and old controversies that I learned about, like, I think a few months ago with his girlfriend. So, he isn't a very good person anyway. So probably won't play as him that much anyway. But yeah, it's a very fun game. They still have most of the same controls. They did remove something, so that definitely gets a point taken away. Because even 16 still had it, where you could set up tables wherever you wanted. And they got rid of that in this game. But it still had one feature that 2K18 didn't. And that was, you get to have an animation with the ladder. Nowadays, the only animation is the chair, where you can do a DDT or the Rob Van Dam kick. But, this one, you could hit someone in the stomach with the ladder and then hit them on the back with it. It's a very cool animation. And they changed the ladders in the next game, and they just didn't take the animation with it. But yeah, 17 is a very fun game. One of my favorites in the series. The loading screens are fucking amazing. It does not have a showcase mode unless you get the DLC, which I did not. And 18 didn't have a showcase mode at all. Now, as much as people love to harp on it, WWE 2K20. I really enjoyed this game. It is the first, and unfortunately, only game to have a male and a female wrestler on the cover. It's weird that they have never done it again. When 2K22 was coming out, I was like, who are they going to put on the cover? Is it going to be, Alexa Bliss? Is it going to be, Paige or, not Paige, because she wasn't wrestling at the point. But, I was thinking of the big stars like Alexa, Asuka, Bayley, who was going to be on the cover with the new male star. And they ended up just doing Rey. And then 2K23 was just John Cena, which I haven't played 2K23, so it's not on this ranking. But it added a lot of great stuff, and unfortunately, a lot of it didn't even make it into the sequel. It is the first game to have a weapon wheel, which, if you didn't know, it was something that frustrated the hell out of me in the old games. If you do an Extreme Rules match, you get your candlestick, you get your bat, you get your chair, you get your sledgehammer, you get a ladder, and you get a table. All those weapons. If you do any other match, you get a sledgehammer, and a chair and a bat, and that's it. You don't get to pick. You go on the left side, there's a sledgehammer, right side, chair, top side, bat, or whatever the position was. But this game added it so every single map had a bunch of weapons, even if it was just a regular match, where you would get DQ'd if you used it. You could have all the candlesticks and shit under there, and you could change it. If you wanted to have a normal match and just have all tables. You could have all tables. You could have all ladders. You could have all candlesticks. You could have all chairs, all bats. And then they added weapon customizations and weapons you can earn from story mode and towers and all kinds of shit. Like, you could get a gold fucking chair. You could get something that was basically a bat but a reskin. But because it's a reskin, it just looks cooler. And it usually has like a different noise. Like there was a steampunk pipe. And it made just fucking loud ass metal hitting you sound. And it played the same as the bat, I will say that. But it was just cooler, and they removed that. There is no weapon customization in 2K22, which fucking sucks. So yeah, there's that. It did have a lot of fun stuff. It was a lot of characters games that I really liked the last game. So, that also gets it a plus. Graphics were pretty shit. I will admit that. But overall, it was a fun game. It was the one that crashed the most out of them all, but it didn't even crash it often. But it was the only one that usually crashed. I don't think any of the other games crashed even once. But this one did crash sometimes. Now, this might be a bit of a controversial opinion. 19. It's pretty fun. It did introduce a lot of good shit. It was the first ever game where you finally got a fucking Royal Rumble for women. Because, they just didn't have it in the games because there wasn't enough women. And the Women Royal Rumble didn't exist. That was something that always pissed me off when I played 2K18. Because it was my very first WWE game. And I played the shit ton out of it. And one day I wanted to play as Summer Rae in the Royal Rumble. And I realized you can't play women in the Royal Rumble. Even though I'm pretty sure there's a fucking enough in 18 to do it. They just didn't add it. They added it in this game. And you get Daniel Bryan's showcase mode. A lot of fun shit. Unfortunately, one day I went back and tried to get all the objectives because I was better at the game. And I could probably complete them now. And when I did it, I got the WWE 13 championship. Played a match with Alexander Wolfe versus Killian Dane. Won the title, and it crashed. I guess that kind of contradicts what I said earlier. But, it was working fine. I had no problem, no lag, nothing. But once I went back and did showcase mode, the game was done. It just never let me play it again. I would put the game in. It would work fine. It would play, Daniel Bryan's chosen song, Roll Your Mind or whatever. And when I pressed X to play it, it would crash every time. So I ended up just throwing it away. I will get it back eventually and play it. Because it is actually, out of all the WWE games I've played, the one with the most in the playlist. And I haven't uploaded a 2K19 video in a year because it hasn't worked in longer than that. I think a year and a half. Pretty fun game. So, that one will be taken off now. WWE 2K22. It has its problems. It definitely has its problems. It is the first game that I can't make custom shit in. It just does not work, and other people have had this problem too. I can't make custom titles. I can't make custom wrestlers. And it just never got fixed. All the updates never got fixed. Some updates have fixed the games, like 2K17 had a save data problem, which fucked over a lot of people that played it day one and shit. You'd get all the wrestlers, play story mode, and then one day you wouldn't have anything when you played the game. Kind of like Injustice 1 has that fucking problem for whatever reason. I just started playing that game to get some achievements and trophies, got a lot of shit, got to level 55, was trying to get to level 100 and buy everything from the store or whatever, do all the battles. Got halfway through all the battles. And then one day I got on it and I was level 1. I'm not touching that game in years. Fuck that game. Anyways, 17 had those save problems. They fixed it in an update. But this game never did it. This game brought back Putting tables wherever you want, that's definitely a plus. Still had the weapon wheel, definitely a plus. Customization? Hell no, not a plus. I was able to make Alta tires for wrestlers, actually. Like, I made all that shit. But for whatever reason, I cannot make custom titles in this game. I'll go to make the title, I'll press save, and then when I go to custom titles, I don't have any. It's fucking weird, and I wish they would fix it. It's definitely the game I play the least. Not because it's not fun. There's a lot of fun features, like the stun feature, how fast you can get finishers and signatures in this game. It's very fun. I still play it a lot. But I think out of all the games I really enjoy, probably the least. That and 15. Though I do play 15 quite a bit. And, yeah, it's very fun. Now, 2K18 has the last game of my favorite wrestler, started the series with a bunch of my favorite wrestlers, added a lot of stuff, brought back stuff that shouldn't have been left out. It's a very fun game. Story mode was but, story mode is never what I get WWE games for. So they got Sanity in here. It was the second to last Ascension game, second to last Epico and Primo game, both my favorite wrestlers. It was Summer Rae's last game. And, that made it so you could have a lot of dream matches with her with some wrestlers she didn't fight, like Peyton Royce and Billy Kay and other people that were in that game. It introduced 8-man matches, which we did not have in the other games for whatever reason, and they brought back customization because we did not have that in 17, 16, and 15. 15 didn't even let you make custom titles, and they reduced the customization slot. That was something I hated. You can only make 25 wrestlers, and you can't even make women wrestlers as customs. You can make Alta tires for them, which are technically customs, and they count as customs, but you could not make customs of women. Only men. And they made it so you could only do 25 slots, even though 2K14 had a fucking 100. Big downgrade. This is the last game that has this cheat I used to use to get a lot of money, where I would play as someone that was really good, like Kofi Kingston, and then I had this guy named Wimp. I'd make him look goofy, and I would get him all the way to level 0, overall 0, and I would beat the shit out of him, and you'd get a lot of money for doing squash matches, which was removed after, I think, 19. No, they were definitely in 20, I think. They were removed in 22. But yeah, squash matches were pretty fun. I don't know why they got rid of them. Just beating the shit out of the opponent in a few seconds and then basically having no hope to beat you is a very cool concept. But yeah, the lowest you can make someone in 19 was 36. I think. I know it was in the 30s. So they got rid of that for whatever reason. Can't make your person the lowest possible to challenge yourself. Go against 100 overall and be a 0. You can only do that in this game and other games. And fun fact, in 17, I think it may be a glitch, but sometimes you can make your customs, tougher than 100. You can make them, 117 and shit. My friend does some of that, and he doesn't do mods or anything like that. And I think I may have people like that. I'm not sure, though. But, 18 just had, a lot of fun shit. I am disappointed you couldn't do a women's rumble, but it had a lot of fun stuff. It brought back customization, so you could do 3 finishers and shit. You can make first blood matches, KO matches, finisher matches, which was missing from 17, 16, and 15. 2K19, I almost forgot, they added custom money in the bank, which is something I never used in that game, I don't think. But I did use it in 2K20, which I will be making a video on that soon, because I am planning to make all of the titles so I have no titles to make. Just get all the slots done. Which I have done in only 20 so far, but I haven't recorded it yet. So I'll show all the titles because I have every single one of them filled up in the custom slot in 20, and I have some money in the bank briefcase, so I'll show those too. They're mostly just, like previous briefcases, like the red one, the blue one, and shit, but there are other ones too. But, I know it probably isn't the popular opinion, but it also has like the last game for some legends that should have definitely continued to be on in the series, but for whatever reason aren't. Like Larry Zabisco and shit are in this game. And 19 was definitely the downfall of the Legends roster. It didn't have a bad roster, but I mean, it was the last one with a good roster. You had Bam Bam Bigelow, Vader, and shit. And then in 2K20, as much as I love that game, shitty Legends roster. There isn't too much I'd like to buy in that game. Like, we had Ricky Steamboat, and I think that was it. That was like, as off the top of my head, that is probably the only person I liked in 2K20's Legend roster. It, for whatever reason, just a very big downgrade in the series on the Legends roster. Yeah, they got not a very good one. I mean, they had Mark Henry, because he wasn't wrestling at this point anymore, so they just threw him in there. Jerry Lawler's a fucking pedophile. So, not a big fan of that. We did get Molly Holly. I mean, she's kind of cool. But at the expense of us losing so many people, Papashenko, there we go. It's just not for me personally, the 2K20 Legend roster. They had so much cooler people in all the games. 18, 17, 19. They had a good Legends roster. 16 didn't have it. You could get Legends for free by doing showcase mode or them already being unlocked in the game. It was very weird. They had like some Legends hadn't wrestled in years, and you could already play as them without playing showcase mode. And it wasn't like I had the DLC in that game. Yeah, 18, definitely by far my favorite game, though. And yeah, that's about it.